stick around in the background for a little bit.
Alrighty, sir. Well, as soon as I get the other folks checked in, then I'll come back to you for comment. Are there any other mobile or portable check-ins wishing to join the Elmer Net? Please call now.
This is 3 Sierra Romeo Foxtrot Will in Arlington County.
Okay, Will, go ahead with your call sign one more time, please.
Kilo 3 Sierra Romeo Foxtrot.
Okay, I have Kilo 3 Sierra Romeo Foxtrot, is that correct? Okay, I have Kilo 3 Sierra Romeo Foxtrot. Will, thanks for checking in from Arlington. We appreciate you joining us this evening. Okay, let's get to our regular check-ins. Please come now one at a time with your call sign, name, and location.
This is Kilo Mike 4 November Hotel November. Joe in Callio.
KM4KAF.
This is Kilo 3 Romeo Juliet Kilo Rick and King George.
This is Oscar 4 Charlie Uniform Foxtrot. Reva, King George.
This is Kilo Oscar 4 Delta Charlie Tango Larry, Pennsylvania.
Kilo Charlie 8 Victor Foxtrot November Jeff at Locust Point.
Okay, so let me just let everyone know what I have so far. I have Joe, KM4NHN, from Callio, of course. I have Rick, I believe, is K3RJK. I have Reba, KO4CUF. I have Larry, KO4DCT. And I have Jeff, KC8VFN. Are there any fills or corrections? Okay, none heard. Are there any other regular or any check-ins from any area, Echolink, mobile, or regular, wishing to check into the Grant's Elmer's Net? Please come now.
This is November 4 Whiskey Delta Charlie David, the Echolink from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Okay, I hear you, Dave, on Echolink. I'm going to check your call sign here. I have November 4 Whiskey Delta Charlie. Is that correct?
Affirmative.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Echolink tonight, Dave. Are there any other check-ins for the Grants Elmer's Net? Please call now. Okay, so we're going to start off with some announcements. It's really great to hear everyone today. Currently, we are at 13 check-ins for the net. We certainly appreciate all of you taking the time on a Wednesday to spend here for the 633rd running of the Grants Elmer's Net. And of course, for any ham, this is an incredibly special week because we are staring down the barrel of Field Day. Summer Field Day is a huge, huge thing for ham operators, and most of us, it's filled with food, fellowship, lots of radio gear set up, and and a little bit of friendly competition. So it's something that a lot of us look forward to, and we certainly hope that you do as well. If you are hearing us on this repeater system, we are the Potomac River Radio System, linked repeater system, and we have repeaters coming all through the state of Virginia and Maryland, and we basically follow the entire Potomac rhythm from north to south. In that nice, wonderful span of wonderful real estate, you have lots of field day opportunities. If you are a member of a club, you could certainly go and volunteer and help out or come and visit certain. Or if you are not affiliated with a specific club or relatively new to ham radio, then going and visiting other clubs' field day sites might be something you thoroughly enjoy. Before we joined a club, that was something that my husband and I, Chris, did often. We went to Virginia and Calvert and all different areas to experience field day in a lot of different ways, and it was a lot of fun. So the topic for today is something that's going to be in the spirit of a little bit of fun. We do have, going by the list here, we have a lot of older hams, and it looks like we may have some new ones as well. So for those of you that have experienced Field Day, I want to hear about the weirdest or the craziest thing or the most bizarre blunder that happened during Field Day in your recollection. If you are new to ham radio and you have any general questions about your field or field day or anything else about ham radio, your questions are always welcome during the Elmer Net. Even if it's off topic, that is thoroughly okay. For those of you who are part of the Elmer Net family in an administrative capacity, you may have received an email from me with a paper that has all of the updated information on clubs and nets that can be reached or are sponsored by the repeater system or the local repeaters in our counties. And I am looking for feedback on that so that we can use that as a resource for announcements on nets and to be able to hand out to new hams so they know what nets they can participate in and what clubs are available and when they have their in-person meetings. And as always, you can put any of those questions or comments on the Grants Elmer's Net Facebook page. If you have any questions about joining a club or about clubs in the area, please feel free to post those questions to the Grants Elmer's Net. I am the admin for that, as well as Grant Farrand and Jason Rudick, and we are always welcome to answer your questions, as well as all of the other amateur radio operators that are on the Grants Elmer's Net Facebook page. They're constantly answering questions, and giving feedback to new hams when they're trying to sort things out with their gear and just finding better ways to learn and enjoy the hobby. Are there any other announcements that need to be addressed at the beginning of this net from anyone who has checked in so far, whether it be field day sites or events coming up? Please come now. Okay, hearing none, we're going to go up to our mobile station, KZ4GL. How are you tonight, sir? Kilo Zulu 4, Golf Lima. Rob, how are you tonight?
Doing good, Rachel. Glad to check into the net. It's been a little while. I've mostly been focusing on the new baby in the family and doing a couple of those when I can get the time for it. As far as field days, I guess that's in the topic of tonight. I've actually never been to a field day, but look for something in the King George area, something that we can get to with the little family and participate in. Over.
KM4KAF.
A new addition to the family, and I'm not quite certain what the King George Club is doing, but I know that the Westmoreland group goes down to the Westmoreland State Park, and there's a cabin down there that they meet at, and that might be a nice little thing for the family. And when we get some of those folks up on the radio, I hope they can share that information to you. So thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations and welcome to the net. It certainly is glad to have you, and you can come anytime you wish. And we'll be clear with KZ4GL. Okay, our other mobile portable station is Will, K3SRF. How are you tonight, Will?
We're very good, thanks. We're just taking a walk now that the air has cooled down a little bit. And it's we're walking into the western sun, but it's okay. And I know you were asking for any things that were bungled on field day. I couldn't think of any. I remember field day, that particularly that we were good on things like baked beans and potato salad along with operating. So that's what I remember from field days. This is K3SRF, back to net.
Well, you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it's great that that you don't have any negative memories of field day, and that's okay. For us personally, one of the silly things is during setup, we found that we had every kind of connector known to mankind, but what we needed was a 10-millimeter washer. That was all we needed to put up an antenna, and we didn't have one. So it was kind of one of those funny little things that, we've got all of this gear, we've got all of this stuff, and we couldn't put up an antenna because we were missing one silly little washer. And it's, like I said, it's just those funny little things, but that's one of the reasons why we do field day, is to bring that equipment out, use it in a location that's unknown to us or unfamiliar to us, and to be able to operate as successfully as possible. Now, before we had Parks on the Air, really field days were the only times we had an opportunity to do those kinds of operations, unless we were doing things like marathons or bike races or maybe certain types of search and rescue. But again, those were more there was a lot less time for trial and error there. You needed to be able to perform, and there wasn't a lot of room for error in those types of operations. Where field day, yes, the points are nice, but if something doesn't quite go right, it's a learning experience. And that's what we want to focus on is that when we're at field day, we have a good time, we have that fellowship, we get those eyeball QSOs, but we also get those learning opportunities to maybe do it better the next time. And that's why I thought it would be kind of funny, so if anyone had any weird stories to share, that would be kind of cool. So we will be clear with K3SRF. Okay, now we're going to go to the Echolink stations. Our first on our Echolink is Neil, AC3CU. How are you tonight, Neil? Thanks for joining us.
KS78WC, this is AC3CU. Good evening, Rachel, another one on the net. Thanks for taking the net, Rachel. I'm doing good. Don't have a whole lot of stuff on field days. I haven't been able to attend one. Hopefully this year I can make a difference, make this one. We'll have to see. So without a whole lot to add to this, I'll send it back to you, Rachel, and just listen to everybody else's comments. The AC3C, back to net control.
Well, thank you so much, Neil. Honestly, I thought you'd kind of have a funny story for us because you've been around so long and done so much with ham radio, but I guess you're just one of those guys that everything just goes nice and smooth. But we certainly hope to see you out at the field day. If anything, hopefully you could join us for dinner. We certainly look forward to seeing you, and we will be clear with AC3CU. Okay, next on our Echolink is Dave, N4WDC, and you're down in Florida. Thanks for joining us.
Well, good evening there, Rachel, and the Potomac River feeder system, I guess it is, or new name. Good lot since I've checked the net. Really miss the Northern Neck area when I lived up there for 36 years. But I did move down to South Carolina 3.5 years ago, and the reason I'm in Fort Lauderdale is sister last year got her amateur radio license. And in December, she says she's going to step up and be the field day coordinator for the club that's in her area. And I said, if you do that, I'll come down and help you out. So that's why I'm down here. I hooked up the RV and came down a few days ago, and going to be here through Monday, and then head my way back up. She's overwhelmed, as you know. Okay, real funny thing. One of the clubs in South Carolina that I joined, the first day I went to them, they were in a park, and they thought that would be good because they're in a state park. And I was busy in the morning. I got there about 2 o'clock, and they were over there putzing with the radios and antennas, and I really didn't feel comfortable going over there and trying to help them out, show them how to do it, because they, I just didn't want to be a know-it-all. And at 4:30, they backed up and left. They made 0 cues, no contacts whatsoever. They didn't even have somebody leave the park and just make a VHF contact. And then the next week, when the president got on the radio for their weekly meeting, he talked about praise how well field day went and how great success it was and everything else. And I'm like, you didn't even make any contact. Later that day, I did go down to the amateur radio club of Augusta, and I had a wonderful time. So good hearing you, Rachel. Tell everybody up there in the Northern Neck, I said, hey, I miss everybody for sure. Take care, and we'll chat with you later. N4WDC.
Well, that definitely sounds like a really bizarre field day experience. Not a single contact, and that was a success. I guess if you're super introverted, that would be fabulous. So, yeah, wow. But that is so cool that you went all the way down to Fort Lauderdale to help out to do for the field day coordinator. That is really, really cool. And I hope that you guys have a great success and have a wonderful time, and hopefully we'll get a chance to chat with you across the airwaves. So thank you, Dave, and I will send across the message that you said hello, and we'll be clear with N4 WDC. Okay, that brings us down to our regular check-in list, and we will start off with Joe from Callio, KM4NHN. How are you tonight?
KM7AWC, KM4NHN. Good evening, Rachel, and all on the net. It's good to hear Dave on here. I hadn't heard him in a while. He used to be a member of the Westmoreland Club, too. And this year, the Westmoreland Club is having the field day at Grant's Lab, the same place where the Virginia phone net was. And, well, I don't have any crazy stories, but I do have a funny story that happened to me on field day one year. And we were actually at the Grant's Lab that year, too. So, I turned to the band and I heard the station real strong. It's November 1, Mike. Well, I made the contact with him, logged it, wasn't even thinking about who it was. I looked up, it said N1MM. The same person that wrote the N1MM software, logging software. And, but I had logged him into the N3FJP software. So back over to you, Rachel. KM4NHN.
Well, that is a good one, yeah. So you logged the guy into the software that he created. That's pretty cool. Yeah, see, that's the kind of fun stuff. Like, I've heard stuff like, somebody who talked to Joe Walsh from the Eagles, who's a huge ham, stuff like that. It's just, it's such a cool hobby, and we just come across some of that fun stuff like that. So what a neat experience. Thanks for sharing that with us, Joe. And do you have any information on the Westmoreland field day this year?
Yeah, it's going to be a general testing laboratory. Same place the Virginia phone net meeting was.
KM4KAF.
Well, roger that. Thank you so much, Joe, and we'll be clear with KM4NHN. Okay, next on our list is Rick, K3RJK. How are you tonight, Rick?
Rachel, I'm doing well this evening. I hope everybody else is doing well on the net. The only funny story that I have about field day happened a long time ago, about 1966, 67, when I was a teenager. And I was invited to participate in field day with a bunch of old-timers, and they had been testing all their equipment and antennas and cables and everything weeks and weeks before the actual event. And when it came down to this, they said they had everything. They were ready to go. They get out there. Now, this is in the days when most of the equipment still had tubes, so they were still running on AC power. Well, they get out there, get all set up. They forgot to bring a generator. It saw a bunch of people scrambling trying to find a generator back in the mid-60s. It was not an easy task, but they did find one and were able to operate. But that's one event or one thing that's stuck in my mind over the years. This is K3RJK, back to Rachel in Net Control.
Well, that is a cool story. Yeah, it's something we don't, or we take for granted that, most of our stuff now runs on 12 volts. And that really comes in handy. But gosh, I couldn't imagine, carrying around tube radios for field day. It's just not something I've really ever had to experience. So and then not having a generator. Wow, that would be kind of rough. I said, it's hard enough buying a generator this day and age. I couldn't imagine trying to find one back in the 60s. All right, well, we'll be clear with K3RJK. Thank you so much for the story, sir. And we will go down to Reba, KO4CUF. How are you tonight, Reba? You did a nice job on the net at the VFN at 4 o'clock.
Rachel, and yeah, it was a pretty decent band for HF at 4 o'clock, so I thought that that turned out pretty good. Well, Rachel, I don't really have any funny stories to tell about field day because I haven't been to that many. But what I do have this time around is I have a go kit. So Saturday, I'm going to, and I say, and Jeff's going to go with me, and we're going to go down to where the old VFM meeting place is. And Matt and everyone's going to be down there. And we're going to try it out, and I'm going to try to figure out how to use it. We'll have Grant down there, and he was the one that built it, so it should be pretty fun. And just in case anyone needs to know the address, if they would like to come down, it's called the General Testing Lab, and it's 1623 Leestown Road, Colonial Beach, 22443. And we'd love to see you down there. Thanks, Rachel, for picking up the net tonight. We really appreciate it. And we'll just go ahead and ride along and listen to all the good comments. This is KO4CUF. Turning it back to KS7AWC.
Well, thank you so much, Reba. Yeah, I didn't realize you guys were going to be at the testing lab. For some reason, I thought you guys were going to be at the state park again. But that's where you guys do winter field day, isn't it?
That's right, Rachel. We go there for winter field day. This is actually the first time that we've done it down here at the laboratories. It was just so pretty when we were down there for our meeting, and there's a nice breeze right there on the Rappahannock River. And Matt said, "Hey, let's have it down here," and the guy that owns the place said that we could have it there.
Well, it really is an absolutely beautiful location, and it is a really nice place if you want to bring your family, especially for field day. It's not too far of a drive if you're from King George and well, gosh, even for us, even over here in Maryland. And it's just absolutely beautiful. And so if you get a chance to go out there to Leestown, if you're in Virginia, to go to their field day, I highly recommend it. And you certainly can't beat the people. So we'll be clear with Reba, KO4CUF. And that brings us down to Larry from Spotsylvania, KO4DCT. How are you tonight, Larry?
Good, Rachel, and I'm excited to actually be able to get in there tonight. I haven't been able to get on for a while now. But at any rate, yes, y'all are sounding good out here. And so I just, as far as bungled field day stuff, I've only been doing this about 3 or 4 years, I think, and so this will be my 3rd or 4th field day. And last year we had my partner and I, we were operating the GOTA station, and we were going to meet out there, and brought my field kit and battery pack and everything. And apparently both of us thought we were going to bring power supply for when the batteries ran out, but nobody did. I had a generator, but nothing to charge the batteries, and I didn't have a solar kit at the time. So, as it was, he was able to run back to his house and get a power supply about sometime in the evening, and then get on back out there before he got called out to work again. So, at any rate, it was an interesting thing, and I'm sure it's not the first time that one of the two people working together thought the other was going to bring something that was absolutely necessary. So that's about it. I want to point out, if anybody's interested, is I believe it's called a rose moon, and the moon rise is supposed to be spectacular tonight, and especially tomorrow night. So if you get a good spot to watch the moon come up over the horizon, it's going to be spectacular. So with that, I'll hand it back to you and net control. And thanks, Rachel, for taking the net. It sounds great. 73 Kilo Oscar 4 Delta Charlie Tango. Back to net control.
Well, thank you so much, Larry. And a rose moon. Oh, I've heard those are really interesting. So, yeah, if you get a chance to go out and do a little bit of sky looking, that would be fantastic, and watch the moon rise. And we'll be clear with Larry, KO4DCT. This is KF7AWC running the 633rd running of the Grant's Elmer Net. And let's take a quick break right here to see if there are any other check-ins. Please come now.
For REV.
Bravo 3, Papa, Foxtrot, Foxtrot, Steve, Rockville, no comments with the net.
Okay, I've got Simidon, KD4REE. Thanks for checking in tonight, sir. And the last check-in, can you give me your call sign one more time?
Bravo 3, Papa, Foxtrot, Foxtrot, Steve, Rockville, no comment.
Okay, I have KB3, Papa, Foxtrot, Foxtrot. Is that correct, sir?
Correct. Kilo, Bravo 3, Papa, Foxtrot, Foxtrot, Steve, Rockville, no comments with the net.
Well, thank you so much for checking in, Steve. We always appreciate you coming by, so I've got you down as KB3PFF and from Rockville. Well, we certainly appreciate you popping in and saying hello this evening. And that brings us down to the bottom of the list, which would be Jeff, KC8VFN. How are you tonight, Jeff?
Good evening, Rachel, and the rest of the net. I'm really glad you took the net tonight. I was too tired. I was outside packing in my stuff. I've been out there all day doing maintenance on our mowing equipment. Now's the time I have to do it, when we're not having to mow because it's so dry right now. So it gives me a good break to do the maintenance. It's not the best weather for it either, but it was okay today. But I'm really tired. Enjoying the net though, and I haven't been to enough field days to have experienced any big fails, but one thing I will say is at the beginning, the very first guy that checked in was mentioning the possibility of finding one where he could bring his family, and I'd say you'd know more about this than I would, but I think any field day would be family friendly, because the few I've been to, I believe operators have welcomed kids, adults, kids of any age, to show them what the hobby's all about, show them how to operate, and they can operate if they want to. That's perfectly legal. As long as there's a licensed ham there to help them. So by all means, bring your families. If you go to the field day of the Westmoreland County, don't let that Colonial Beach address fool you. Don't go to Colonial Beach. They probably don't even know where Leedstown is. I don't know why that address was Colonial Beach, but it's down in Leedstown, and Reba gave the street address, so hopefully that'll get you there. Right down on the river in the middle of nowhere, but it's a beautiful site. KCA VFS, back to control.
Oh, you are absolutely right, Jeff. It is absolutely beautiful. Yes, and it is Leedstown, Virginia, but it's in the Colonial Beach area, but the actual address is the Mobile Test Lab in Leedstown. And, okay, and our last check-in for the night so far is Simidon, KD4RE. How are you tonight, sir?
fine. I finally got that wire antenna for my whisper transmitter set up indoors, and when the weather is cooler, I'll move it outside. So far, the signal is reaching out to the West Coast and New England with 200 milliwatts. I'm transmitting on 80 through 10 meters now, and I'm hoping to get the wire modified so that I can transmit on 160 meters as well. Nothing else going on, just playing around with the VHF, at least on Whisper, and maybe once I get that antenna outside, I could also use that for sideband. If I really don't feel like transmitting with the indoor antenna on VHF. That's all I have. Back to you, Rachel, from TV4RTV.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by tonight and spending a little bit of time with us on it on. It's always nice to hear you. And we'll be clear with KD4REE. And we have Steve, who had no comments, so we'll list him as an in and out. And are there any last-minute comments, rechecks, or check-ins for the Grants Elmer Net? Please come now.
Delta 4, Alpha Delta Foxtrot Portable in Arlington.
Hey, can you come back with your call sign a little bit slower, please?
Whiskey Delta 4, Alpha Delta Foxtrot. Name is Brian here in Arlington, and I'm portable.
Hey, Whiskey Delta 4, Alpha Delta Foxtrot. Is that correct, Brian?
Talk to yourself.
Well, good evening, Brian, and thank you for joining us on the Grants Elmer's Net tonight. We were discussing field day and any fun memories, blunders, or any experiences that you might have. If you've never been to a field day, or if you have any questions about it, or any general topics, feel free to comment on those as well. So, how are you doing tonight?
For asking, and as for field day, been to several in my short amateur radio hobby career. I'm a member of the Alexandria Radio Club, and so normally I join them for field day, and sometimes I'll go up to the Pentagon and hit the Pentagon/Arlington Radio Clubs that have their field day there in the North parking lot. So I guess my most memorable field day was, I'd say 2 years ago, I think maybe 3 years ago, I'm losing track of time now, where I was operating a field day, realized I needed to go to the Arlington test site to take my general exam. I said, look, I'll be back in an hour. So I drove from our field day location in Alexandria to their testing site, took the general test, passed it, and came back with my general temporary operating license. So that was a good time and a good memory of that field day. Over.
Well, that is really cool, Brian. You left a tech and you came back a /AG. You can't do much better than that on a field day. So that is really cool. Thank you so much for checking in, Brian. And it's good to hear some people checking in. Are you a member of the, oh gosh, what's the name of it? The Arlington Public Service Radio Group?
Member of the Arlington Public Service Radio Group. I'm only a member of the Alexandria Radio Club and an honorary member of the Northern Alberta Radio Club of Edmonton, Alberta. Over.
Roger that. Well, thank you so much, because I've been trying to get a hold of some folks from the public service group, because there's something going on with their website. But thank you so much for checking in tonight, Brian. We are certainly glad to have you, and we hope that you get a chance to enjoy some field day activities this weekend. And we'll be clear with WD4ADF. Okay, so that brings us down to the bottom of the list again. Are there any other members or guests wishing to check into the Grants Elmer Net? Please come now. Are there any rechecks for the members on the list?
For Golf Lima recheck.
Go ahead with your recheck.
For Golf Lima. I hope that this is not too off topic for this net, but I was curious what the schedule was for the Leestown field day event was, and particularly if there were any food or meal arrangements to factor in.
Okay, I'm going to ask Reba here, KO4CUF, are you still on frequency?
Oh, I'm here.
Okay, did you hear excuse me, who is it? Rob's question. He wanted to know what the schedule was for the Leestown, like what time you're serving food and stuff.
Rachel, I'm not quite sure what time food is going to be served, but it starts at 2 p.m. on Saturday and will run till 2 p.m. on Sunday. And usually what happens is folks will just show up and they'll just bring some food, and we just kind of all share and have some hot dogs or hamburgers. And there's not really a certain time that we do it. It's just there. Some are talking. Some are sitting there making contacts. So I know that it will start at 2 p.m. on Saturday.
Roger that. Thank you so much, Reba. For KZ4GL, so yes, all field days, we actually start the radio operations at 2 p.m. and it runs 24 hours. But again, for the Leestown, they will be having potluck food, and you can also go on probably the Westmoreland Amateur Radio Club website, and you might be able to find some more information on that. But yes, 2 p.m. is when everything starts and kicks off, and again, you are welcome to bring a dish to share, and probably some drinks for your family. You can never go wrong with that. So we'll be clear with KO4CUF and KZ4GL. Is there any other questions or announcements for the net tonight? Please call now.
Kilo 3 Sierra Romeo Foxtrot.
Kilo 3 Alpha Romeo Foxtrot.
This is Kilo 3 Sierra Romeo Foxtrot. We spoke earlier, but I'm answering your question because I'm part of the Arlington Radio Public Service Club, and we know that our website is being rebuilt right now, so that could be what you were talking about. And also just a reminder that the Arlington Races Net will be at 9 p.m., and you all are welcome to check in there if you wish on this frequency. This is K3 SRF, back to net.
Well, thank you so much. We certainly appreciate that because, yeah, I've been putting together this paper that has all the club information, and we had noticed that the website had some issues. So we're glad that you know about it, and we look forward to getting an update on how all of that is coming along, and we also thank you so much for maintaining the Arlington branch of this repeater system. Okay, that brings us down to the bottom again. There being no additional business for the Grants Elmer Net, we will now call this net closed. I want to thank everyone who participated, also to the sponsors and maintainers for allowing us to use the repeaters and Echolink. Please visit the Grants Elmer Net Facebook page for additional information about the repeater system. We look forward to hearing you next Wednesday night right here on the repeater system at 7:30 p.m. At this time, we will return the frequency to normal amateur use at 0023 GMT. As Grant always says, God bless America, our troops, and our Elmer Net family. Good night, all. This is KF7 AWC Clear.
Six Hotel Lima Charlie, KF7, calling.
This is KF7 AWC. You calling me?
KF7 AWC, this is Kilo 6 Hotel Lima Charlie. Sorry I missed the net tonight, over.
I'm sorry, can you give me your call sign one more time?
Kilo 6 Hotel Lima Charlie, K6 Hungry Little Caterpillar, over.
I love your call sign, K6HLC, Hungry Little Caterpillar. Yeah, my husband is a silly kind person. That's how we remember his. You literally just missed the net. We just closed the logger, but we thank you so much for coming by. And do you have any questions about the field days that are coming up?
Negative on the questions. I'm not really sure where everyone's going to be setting up all the different clubs. I know that my home club, the Alexandria Club, will be setting up at Kingston Park, but I don't know where some of the other clubs are, over.
Well, roger that. That's not a problem. As long, we want to share as much as we can, and that way we give new hams who may be listening, but maybe are still working on their licenses or still a little bit gun shy to get on the microphone, know that there's someplace they can go by and visit. So we certainly appreciate you stopping by tonight. And what's that? So are you looking for other places to go and visit?
No, yeah, I was just curious where some of the other clubs might be setting up. I haven't seen a consolidated list, at least from the Alexandria Club, of where some of the other clubs might be setting up, over.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything from the clubs in your area specifically, but I know like Westmoreland is going to be in Leedstown. We have the St. Mary's County Amateur Radio Association Club is going to be at Historic Sauterley. Charles County, and I'm not sure where Charles County is going to be this year. Nanjamoy. And then you have, the Nanjamoy Club. Hold on a second, what is it? Nanjamoy State Park is where Charles County sets up. And then you have the Calvert group that goes up to the, there's a state park up there in Prince Frederick that they go to.
Thank you so much for the heads up on what some of those clubs are setting up, over. No
problem. And then and like someone said that they that there's a Potomac club that sets up in Kingston area. It's at Kingston State Park, I think is what he said. But yeah, I haven't seen anything on any of the websites that I've been looking for specifically. But another way to check is also their Facebook pages is usually where you'll find a lot of that information. That's where I have been finding it, is on the Facebook groups more than on their actual Facebook, on their web pages.
Matt, thank you so much for the heads up. Yeah, no, I just was kind of curious for some of the folks that will be set up over.
Well, wonderful. Well, thank you so much again. And can I answer any other questions for you?
Other info that I could provide to you, if anybody asks, is the AMSAT. If anybody's doing amateur satellite for field day, is trying to request that you only do one QSO per satellite pass. So, because the birds are going to be pretty busy. So, I got that info from the Arlington, Texas AMSAT radio network when I was on business out there. Over.
Oh, that's really good to know, because I think they were mentioning that that would be something to be doing for points. So I will make sure and pass that along on the Grant's Elmer Net page, because that goes out to a lot of different clubs all over the various areas up and down the Potomac River, and I'm sure that will be very gratefully received. So thanks again for sharing that. What a good little piece of information to pass along. This is KF70WC with K6HLC. How are you? Do you have any other comments or questions at this point?
Negative, no further questions at this point. I just, like I said, sorry that I was a bit late to the call, but appreciate you passing your information on. Over.
Oh, it is my pleasure, absolutely, and we certainly are glad that you popped in to talk to me tonight. But like I said, I always worry about running this net too late, because I know that they've got a races net that comes on right after. But I'm actually doing pretty well on time, so I'm glad I had a chance to chat with you a little bit. Well, you enjoy your upcoming weekend, and we certainly hope that we will cross paths on the air. I'll be clear with K6HGL on your final.
So much. I think it's, I didn't rate your call. It was Kilo Foxtrot 7, and then I forget the suffix, but this is K6 HLC, 7-3 to you and your family. Over and out.
Thank you so much. It is Kilo Foxtrot 7, Alpha Whiskey Charlie, always with Chris. Chris is my husband. He's KB2SKP. And we are with the St. Mary's County Amateur Radio Association down here in Lexington Park, Maryland.
QS out there. I got Kilo Fox 7 Alpha Whiskey Charlie. This is K6 HLC. 7-3s to you and Charlie down in St. Mary's. I'll be clear. Over.
Wonderful. Have a good night. Thanks again.
HLC, WD4, ADF. 4 ADF, this is K6 HLC, over.
Senator Brian, I heard your question about other clubs in the area, at least in Northern Virginia, that are having field day. The other one that's associated with our club, of course, is the Arlington Radio Club. They usually have theirs, I guess, in conjunction with Pentagon Radio Club on the north parking of the Pentagon there at Larry Bird Johnson Park. They usually set up, I think there were 2 A stations, so there's not a whole lot going on compared to the Alexandria Club. I think we're going to be 6A this year, but usually they serve a pretty good daggone meal if you catch them in time. Over.
Thank you so much for the heads up there, Brian. I was just kind of curious where some of the Northern Virginia clubs might be, if anybody do, but yeah, thanks for the heads up on where the Arlington Club will be. Yeah, I know the Alexandria Club, I think, is set to be at Chinkapin, if I recall correctly. Over.
The park behind Alexandria City High School, formerly T.C. Williams. So you're absolutely correct. you're still getting reflector emails and you want to work the radios, I think Sandy, I think it's KQ4DNE, who's the field day chair this year. He just put out a link for sign-ups for operators. So if you want to grab some time on 40 meters, 20 meters, 6 meters, 2 meters, whatever, go ahead and sign up and get connected with that band captain, and they'll be more than happy to take you.
I saw Sandy's message, and I might put in my name in the hat to get on when I get over there to hop on one of the radios and take a turn over.
May head over there Saturday, but not during the day. It's going to be too daggone hot with this heat dome. I may try to go over there sometime at night when the sun goes down, but me and hot weather, we don't do too well.
Yeah, no, I don't mind the heat. I grew up in Atlanta, so hot's okay for me. So long as there's a tent, which I can bring a pop-up over.
It's got enough tents and lean-tos and covers. We talked about it at a club meeting on last Friday night, so I think we're good to go, but if you want to bring one just in case, I don't think Sandy's going to tell you no.
Yeah, copy that. Yeah, and also Sandy and I go way back. We've known each other for many decades over.
Well, yeah, come on out to field day. I know the club would love to have your help, and hopefully you'll get some time to work some time on HF or whatnot. Whatever the needs are, maybe even get some FTA time in with the folks running that station.
I've tried to set up FTA, but my rig is relatively old. I use a old Kenwood TS690S, and then with a signal link plugged into the back. And I've tried FTA, but by no means I think I'm a master at setting all that equipment up to sync up with it right. Okay.
There's a couple of guys in the club that are FTA experts. One of them is WA6MTR. I know NNIK, he's one of the FTA guys, and I think there's a handful of others, so feel free to reach out to them and ask for some Elmer help if you need an assistance.
That I also may bring my laptop and my satellite stuff and see if I can make some satellite contacts. Normally I do it from my backyard, but so every once in a while you get a good pass. Over.
Yeah, you'll get a connection on the satellite there. So I've actually had to switch HTs because my Kenwood D74 was starting to run out of juice, so I grabbed the other one. So hopefully you can still hear me over.
And then full quieting here over the network. I don't know what your QTH is. Mine is in southern Alexandria, just south of the Beltway. Over.
I'm here in South Arlington in the Burlington area, near King Street and I-385. So using 5 watts to get into the 625 repeater.
See that? Yeah, I'm also on the 625 repeater with a little bit more. I got about 25 watts out of a mobile that I set up as a base station with the antenna up in the attic. And I'm a bit farther away from the repeater than where you are. Up there on King Street and 395. I'm down here more towards Route 1, if you know where the Lowe's is on US 1, close to that. Over.
Oh, very familiar with that Lowe's is on Richmond Highway, so yep, I know exactly where you're at. Well, hey, I'm going to go ahead and release the frequency here since we've been chatting for a while, but yeah, I know that just about every one of the local clubs here in Northern Virginia is going to have a field day location. Just look it up on their Facebook pages and take a look-see. And probably some of the larger ones like the Vienna Wireless Society, and if you really want to venture out, probably the Fauquier Radio Club down in Fauquier County will have field day sites up and running. So if you are want into exploring, go check them out.
Thank you so much there, Brian. I'll be clear with you on your final, this WD4ADF. This is Kilo 6, Hotel Lima Charlie.
So hopefully I helped you out a little bit, and maybe we'll run across each other's field day if you're there sometime at night. 73, and we'll see you down the log. And don't forget, tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, we have our net. So we're going to be doing something interesting with the 220 QSY, so stand by for that. This is Whiskey Delta 4, Alpha Delta Foxtrot 12.
Alpha Delta Foxtrot K6, HLC, 73, clear.
Welcome to the PRRA Link Repeater System. KF4AH. Repeater